Season 2 Dungeons massive reworks. Hey guys, Petko here, 8th of July today. PTR servers are still down from last night. They are waiting until more class changes get to be implemented before they release them. We've had already an announcement earlier today that they will be delaying the release of PTR with 1 more day because they have so many things to release. Hopefully by tonight we should have them and discuss them live on stream or on video. Either way, I'm going to be reporting today what we are given. Right now, the only thing that Blizzard have released has been dungeon reworks. I'm gonna show exactly what they've done for the remaining 3 dungeons. If you guys haven't kept up with the PTR, we had already the 5 dungeons tested, which is the 4 midnight dungeons and the newest Altar of Fangs dungeon implemented in Season 2 PTR. So you're gonna see what I've done here. I've put in some votes of mine from previous dungeons. As you can see, servers are still down. Well, let me just show you so you guys don't think I'm lying. Servers are still down, everything's offline, so you know I'm gonna try to present you the information as best as I could, because I cannot show you in game. Okay, starting with Turbo Life pools. Let me just do something quick. Okay, so first of all, that's me 3 years ago. If you guys haven't seen me, that's me 3 years ago. There's me also 7 years ago. You're gonna see in a bit. What is in Turbo Life pools? They're actually quite interesting. Slow down the ability pacing on all bosses. That pretty much means you're gonna have extra time reacting when it comes down to boss abilities. Now, if you have to remember the first boss, for example, sometimes he'll put circle on you, you gotta get out from melee, place the circle elsewhere. Right, I'm gonna show you right now if you guys don't remember. But the first boss was one of the most difficult ones for most people, because it required coordination, it required you to understand what's happening, and for the most part it meant you are familiar with the encounter to the point where you don't really have to sacrifice yourself for the sake of, you know, living. Yeah, so the reduction of trash density in some sections, that's likely in the first area. People complain in the first area way too many casters, and Blizzard have been adamant about, you know, in the past making sure the casters are not as many. As you can see, the ability I'm talking about is this one. Whenever he pulls the chilling star on somebody, usually have like 2 seconds to 3 seconds to react. You might see that maybe 4 or 5 better preparation, pretty much making it easier, right? If you're an OG member or playing WoW for a long time, you don't give a shit about this, you're used to it. But for the people that are new, I understand sometimes it can be challenging. Change the patrol to Thunder Hit and Flame Go to the occur to the ground. Okay, so why is this done? Is because back in the days we used to skip those 2 dragons. If you guys don't know, as soon as you defeat the first boss, you go upstairs and there's 2 big dragons, and that they're extremely difficult to like beat. So a lot of people were skipping them. Nowadays, apparently, they are going to make them patrol to the ground, which means skipping might be impossible. But, well, not impossible, but very difficult. Rework abilities like Flash Frost, Earthshaper, Tectonic Slam, and to reduce the cast bar clutter and burst group damage. So, these guys were placed at the beginning of the dungeon. And I feel like, so what they're saying here is, because there's so many, look at this, so if you look at the trash pack, that's pretty much like 6 mobs, right? If you look at the trash packs, you have 3 to 4 casters in each pool in the first area. Okay, on top of this, you need to make sure, you see that Tectonic Slam, right? This guy, the green guy, if you don't stop that Tectonic Slam, it's gonna do AoE, as you can see, AoE damage to the whole group, and that's like 1 guy going through. On top of this, if you have this Juggernaut on top, he's also casting an AoE on the ground. So way too many things happening. So I would assume that they want to avoid that and make sure that you are at least somewhat responsible for your own mistakes, and, you know, make sure that you will live more. First boss, Chill Storm movement force has been reduced. It's gonna be easier to dodge. Frigid Shard is the things on the ground that she places are now interruptible. Great stuff. Boss becomes even easier, and Fuse Web Cold Close is now a melee proc instead of a cast. That's gonna be a good change for the tanks, because sometimes tanks were dying to this one. If you're a Vengeance DH, you were just Sigil silence them, but if you're not, you were getting the moose meat, so understandably so. Kokia is the second boss. Molten Bounders have a clear direction of indicator. That's the big fireball. Previously, people were dying to that fireball because they didn't know exactly where the bow is gonna clip. So naturally, that's a good change. Ratio of Blaze now applies in every visual of the target player before the effective results. Okay, that's quality of life changes. Korak is the last boss. Inferno ability chain has been simplified and then renamed to Inferno Spit. Okay, so Inferno Spit is like, I think when the dragon casts on two nearby players, I mean two random players, and you get dots. Flaming embers. So this is the fire on the ground. If you previously step into the fire on the ground, you're gonna get this nasty dot. And keep in mind, only 2 people get the nasty dot per sequence. And if you get more than that, somehow you're gonna end up dying. So this is very good change in case you do a mistake. Pretty much they are making the dungeons a bit more cookie cutter friendly. Okay, you don't need to be somewhat Machiavelli to play the dungeon anymore. You just gotta be a regular person. Cloud burst cast visibility is like whenever he casts this stuff and then you get locked. That's pretty much it. Moving forward to Temp of King's Rest. Checking again. No. Okay, we can do King's Rest first. Fuck it. First of all, this is Petko at 22 years of age. Pretty much 7 years ago. That's me 7 years ago. That's me 6 years ago. And that's me 3 years ago. And that's me now. Yeah. Okay. Let me just untie this. Okay. Close this window and let's go to King's Rest. See what I did here. Hold up. Apologies for the scuffed, for the scuffed presentation, but servers are down. I can't think of anything else to present it. Yes, I have gunner glasses. No, don't worry about it. Updated most creature abilities package across dungeon. I don't know what it means. We're gonna find out. Improved the pacing of some RP sequences in dungeons. Okay, so this is actually very interesting take. There's a lot of roleplay stuff in this dungeon. Specifically talking about the roleplay coming after defeating the first boss in a small room where, skeletons about to spawn. You gotta wait 15 seconds, whatever. There's also a roleplay before the first boss is spawning. So genuinely speaking, this is actually quite good. Here's the counterpart. There's so much roleplay in the new dungeons, specifically Murder Row, for example, having to wait the whole event after the first boss for like 2.5 minutes AFKing. Nelorek's Den is also another one where you have to go and fish fishes before the first boss so you can offer the sacrifice. The guy goes and eats it, and then you get to play. That's like a 1.5 minute roleplay. Beforehand, you also have roleplay before you transition to the first boss. After the second boss, also you have to channel some kind of an orb, minus 20 seconds there. So much roleplay. I wish they get to implement that in the rest of the dungeons. Reduce the downtime of enemy packs after the Golden Serpent. Exactly what I just said. After the first boss, the packs. First boss, Spit Goat, has been adjusted to modern tuning standards. Okay, so for the people that do not know, that spit back in the days, I'm talking about when King's Rest was popping, it was the most disgusting dot you could ever imagine, and one tick of this dot usually equates to roughly 70% of your damage. I kid you not, by the way. OG Mythic Plus players know this. I'm going to show you right now. So the moment he applies spit on somebody right now, it's now a healer. Watch this. One spit, one tick. One tick is 40% of his damage. And that spit usually lasts for quite a while, okay? So naturally one of the hardest bosses. I think back in the days, nobody really did this dungeon on like 24. 23 was the max thing. Well, this is 24. I guess there were like a couple of them. So yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I like to see that. Molten Goat and Animated Goat as so the boss is gonna spawn periodically puddles, and once you kill those puddles, they're gonna do ground goat like this, right? Now they used to last forever. I mean, this is actually some hardcore Mythic Plus shit. So you get the whole room to be shit unless you actually place them and stack them before you kill them. You need to be actually really patient. I swear. So now they're gonna last not so long. That's fine. As you can see those animated goats, they spawn all the time, and it's kind of a soft enrage. Don't kill quick enough, you're done. Council of Tribes, that is likely the hardest boss in Mythic Plus back in the days. I'm gonna show right now. That is the third boss of this dungeon. It is absolutely disgusting. 3 mini bosses, and most of them are super difficult to kill, especially this the axe guy. And it now has a fixed sequence. The Butcher is the first, which is the difficult one. Zandalar the Wise and Akari the Conqueror, those are pretty easy. It's whatever. The Butcher one was the deadliest one. We used to BO this guy all the time. So now they have a set sequence on a weekly rotation. Perfect. Pacing on the encounter has been adjusted to allow for more time in between abilities. Once again, making it easier for quick cutters. You know, no hardcore shit. This is a softcore shit now. Visuals. Zanzao the Wise no longer summons Earthwall Totem. Ha! Ha! So this caster that I'm gonna show you right now. Let me check if he is there. So this boss had a caster, right? That used to summon totems every couple of seconds, and one of the totems used to give a shield to everything, including the boss. So you had to kill the totem first before you kill the boss. And there's also a fire totem right here. I mean, I'll show you right now. As you can see, this explosive totem, right, that you're killing right now, there's 4 totems, right? If you don't kill this totem quick enough, you wipe. You wipe. And the Earth totem is applying shields all the time to the boss. So you gotta kill them at the same time. Unless you get a purge. If you have a purge, you can purge the boss instead of killing the totem. The quality is pretty bad here. Sorry guys. This is my first year of streaming. You know, so excuse me. I am trying to grind here, okay? Shadow Zoo. The hardest shit ever. The mini boss before the last boss was terrible. Was absolutely fucking terrible. Nightmare for everybody. Can now move while casting Shadow Barrage. Great. Direct Revelation has been updated to only inflict damage to players within 20 yards. That's good. Pool of Darkness damage reduction by 30%, and each pool is now increased player damage taken from this by 30%. It still has a soft enrage. It's still a very difficult dungeon. But this is a large nerf. Last boss encounter has been redesigned with new abilities and pacing. I don't know what it means. We're gonna find out. That's about King's Rest. Okay. Moving forward. 2. Temple of Sethraliss. The most hated dungeon in the history of Mythic Plus. Maybe Toll the God is more hated. I don't know. One of the most hated. There's so many bugs in this dungeon. It's crazy. I hope they fix at least some of them. Starting with rework the gauntlet sequence prior to the final boss to remove the need of players to be timed out while energizing the orb. Okay, so for the people that are unaware, after defeating Galva, which is the second boss of the dungeon, right? Which is this big guy that's blasting. Where is it? This big guy that's blasting, you know, energy cores. So you gotta soak the energy cores here and there. Otherwise, boss is gonna enrage. He's gonna clap your booty. You're gonna die, whatever. So here's the difficult part. After defeating this boss, right, there is a massive roleplay event, right? You go downstairs, dodge the orbs, okay? And now the goal here is making sure. Oh, this is first for the mini boss. You kill the mini boss, that's fine. But then the goal here is to take this bow or orb, okay? Take the orb, go all the way. By the way, the damage here to these guys is irrelevant because they don't give count. They give 0 count. You pick up the bow, and the thing is, whenever you pick it up, everybody's focusing you, so you gotta be very fast. You pick it up. As you can see, I don't even have my button binds to throw the bow. And we're playing ping pong, you know. I throw the ball, you get it, boom, LeBron James into it, you know. That's pretty much what they do. See that? And you're slowed. You gotta put them inside the eyes. Once you do that, left and right, as you can see, our rogue did the right, our DH did the left. You kill the mobs that you're in combat with, and then you just go to final boss. Apparently, that's was gonna get changed. But sometimes those orbs will disappear. They'll never spawn, and the keys bricked. So, yeah, that's how bad it was. Redesign ability package and trash packs spawning composition through the dungeon and to improve readability, consistency, and counter play opportunities. I have no idea what it means. We're gonna find out. Shrouded Fangs poison cheap shot can now be interrupted. Okay, so these guys were stealthy boys around the first area where they used to patrol the whole dungeon. There were like specific spots where people knew that they patrol, But if you encounter them at first, like if you're the first person to encounter them and they're still in stealth, they will cheap shot you even if you're a tank, stun you, and do insane damage and one shot you. Okay, that's how broken they were. We used to get them out with flare. The DH could see invisible targets too. You could throw, for example, totems so they can attack totems. It was just pretty difficult. Adverix and Aspix, the first boss, you're gonna see in a bit, adjusted the shield to swap on a health threshold and provide damage resistance. So this boss, the first boss, had a used to continuously swap all the time, right? What I mean by this is like, whenever you're fighting the boss, right, one of them is gonna have a shield and is gonna be unable to for you to do damage on them, right? So what they're doing right now is making that shield swap on a specific percentage threshold in comparison to, for example, having to swap randomly. And the problem is, if you do damage that guy while shield is active, you get one shot previously. Okay. Marekta is the second boss, the snake. This is pretty much like the Altar of Fang second boss, similar thing. Every couple of seconds, she's gonna go down, summon some snakes, kill the boss, kinda. Apparently it gets in rework, okay. Change battle so that Marekta now re-emerges immediately after defeat of the ads rather than the timer. Okay, so for the people that do not know, I'm gonna show you right now. As soon as Marekta goes down, she's spawning snakes. Now you can either crowd control the snakes or wait until she's out there so you can funnel those snakes to the boss. Now, what we used to do sometimes, we used to crowd control them and just wait until the timer goes out. She's gonna appear now, and we used to funnel those 4 guys to the boss to kill them faster. Now, it's not gonna be on a timer, it's gonna be once you kill the snakes, so you gotta kill them. Galva is the third boss of the dungeon. Remove Galvanized vulnerability debuff and reworked, retune some mechanics and to support its removal. Galva durability was like, if you soak in the pylons, you're gonna see in a bit. Whenever you soak those pylons, you get stacks, right? So because you're getting those stacks, sometimes you have to swap. Like for example, here it's actually one of the hardest boss to coordinate. As soon as you soak a pillar, right, it gets stacks, and then you are unable to soak again. So we had to cycle people through defensives, and we had a set rotation and set ways to use our externals. And if the channel goes towards the boss, he's gonna recharge to the max and just kill you. And that vulnerability, as you can see, it's very difficult to handle. You can immune it, but for the most part, it's very, very difficult. Lighting sphere, spacing, and behavior. I think that's the ground visuals. I'm not 100% sure what that was. I forgot. Yeah, those ground visuals, see them? Now they're gonna be more consistent and more visible. So sometimes you could stay, for example, right here on the edge and you're still gonna die. So they were bigger than what we thought. And then last boss of Avatar was the most stupid design ever that I could imagine. It was just very difficult to play last boss with the whole role play and all the toad spawning. So that boss has been completely redesigned. So nothing that we used to do back in days is gonna work. So let's take a look exactly what they are changing. I'm really I'm looking forward to play this, specifically speaking about the dungeon itself. I hope that they change it for better. And once again, once we know more changes, once we know more information coming to the game, I will guys let you know. For now, thank you for watching, and hope PTR to be out very soon so we can start testing these iconic 3 dungeons. Much love. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.